Parents are a child's first and most important teacher. By being involved in their child's education, parents can help set their child up for success. Unknown.
Education is not just about getting good grades. It's about opening doors, exploring new ideas, and developing a love of learning. Parents can play a key role in fostering that love. Unknown.
Education is not the filling of a bucket, but the lighting of a fire. W.B. Yeats.
When you know better, you do better. Maya Angelou.
Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. Bob Talbert.
Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. Plato.
Children are likely to live up to what you believe of them. Lady Bird Johnson.
Education is the key to unlocking the world. A passport to freedom. Oprah Winfrey.
Parents need to fill a child's bucket of self-esteem so high that the rest of the world can't poke enough holes to drain it dry. Alvin Price.
I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. Maya Angelou.
Education is the ability to meet life situations. Dr. John G. Hibben.
Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. Martin Luther King Jr.
Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Helen Keller.
Parents who are involved in their child's education are more likely to have children who succeed in school. And Henderson.
Share your knowledge. It is a way to achieve immortality. Dalai Lama 14.
The aim of education should be to teach us rather how to think than what to think. Bill Beattie.
The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Plutarch.
The most important thing in education is to make young people think for themselves. Albert Einstein.
The most important thing that parents can teach their children is how to get along without them. Frank A. Clark.
The school is the last expenditure upon which America should be willing to economize. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
The only fence against the world is a thorough knowledge of it. John Locke.
When parents are involved in their child's education, they are sending a message that education is important and that learning is valued. Unknown.
You educate a man. You educate a man. You educate a woman. You educate a generation. Brigham Young.
A man who has never gone to school may steal from a freight car, but if he has a university education, he may steal the whole railroad. Theodore Roosevelt.
An educational system isn't worth a great deal if it teaches young people how to make a living but doesn't teach them how to make a life. Author unknown.
By learning you will teach, by teaching you will learn. Latin proverb.
Character is a wish for a perfect education. Novalis.
Children have to be educated, but they have also to be left to educate themselves. Ernest D. Knapp.
Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Aristotle.
Education is a better safeguard of liberty than a standing army. Edward Everett.
Education is not a tool for development, individual, community, and the nation. It is the foundation for our future. It is empowerment to make choices and emboldens the youth to chase their dreams. Nita Ambani.
Education is the transmission of civilization. Will Durant.
Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. B.F. Skinner.
Education should bring to light the ideal of the individual. J.P. Richter.
Give me a fish and I eat for a day. Teach me to fish and I eat for a lifetime. Chinese proverb.
I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. Confucius.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Albert Einstein.
It is 1,000 times better to have common sense without education than to have education without common sense. Robert G. Ingersoll.
Education is a weapon whose effect depends on who holds it in his hands and at whom it is aimed. Joseph Stalin.
People learn something every day, and a lot of times it's that what they learned the day before was wrong. Bill Vaughan.
Live so that when your children think of fairness and integrity, they think of you. H. Jackson Brown Jr.
Parental involvement in a child's education is like a booster shot for the whole family. Unknown.
Parents are their child's first role models, and by taking an active interest in their child's education, they show their children that learning is important and valuable. Unknown.
Parents can make a big difference in their child's education by being involved, asking questions, and supporting learning at home. National Education Association.
The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Diogenes Laertius.
The aim of education is the knowledge, not of facts, but of values. William S. Burroughs.
The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. Martin Luther King Jr.
The goal of education is not to increase the amount of knowledge, but to to create the possibilities for a child to invent and discover, to create men who are capable of doing new things. Jean Piaget.
The most valuable gift that you can give your child is a good education, and the most important way to do that is by being involved and engaged in their learning. Unknown.
The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Sidney J. Harris.
You can tell whether a man is clever by his answers. You can tell whether a man is wise by his questions. Naguib Mahfouz.
When one teaches, two learn. Robert Heinlein.
When educating the minds of our youth, we must not forget to educate their hearts. Dalai Lama.
Treat people as if they were what they ought to be, and you help them become what they are capable of becoming. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
The object of education is to prepare the young to educate themselves throughout their lives. Robert M. Hutchins.
The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth. John F. Kennedy.
Parents, teachers, and mentors should always encourage kids to learn and question the world around them. Unknown.
Parents who value education and take an active interest in their child's education are more likely to raise successful students. Unknown.
Parents who are involved in their child's education help create a positive learning environment, build stronger relationships with their child, and improve academic outcomes. Unknown.